For doing Walmart Spark for the past several months now, I definitely got some pros and I know some cons as well.
Can I actually make some good money doing Spark?
And my answer would be yes, you can. Someone else may ask,
can I do this full time?
My answer is yes, you probably could, but you're definitely going to go through some ups and some downs, that's for sure. And you're going to have to be out there at the right times to get the right offers. But saying all of that doesn't mean go ahead and quit your job. No, not at all. Because if you can have gig work to be your side hustle, to be your side job, that thing that you do on the side and not your main thing, that could be more ideal. Of course, it's that huge pro of that you can actually work anytime. If you want to work the morning shift or middle of the day or in the evening, it's all right there in the palm of your hand. You can actually make as much as you want to, depending on how much effort that you put in. But the big con of it all, there is no guarantees how much you can make, and especially having to wait for offers. Now, around that November, December, right there in the peak times when there's a lot of offers, and the offers were pretty good just a few months ago. But now going to the spring, head on into the summer times, things are not like it was. There are less offers out there, and the offers that I've seen hasn't been as good. There's not as many $20 offers, but they're still there. But sometimes there might be a little bit more mileage on it, especially with the routed delivery. So you got to kind of weigh it out. Is this worth it between the dollars to time ratio versus the dollars to miles ratio? Me, I'm the type of person that I really focus on the dollars to time ratio because time is money. And if I'm getting paid well enough, whether it's $25 or $30 an hour, that just might be worth it. But even thinking about those routed deliveries or even like the shop and delivers. Sure, the shop and deliver might say it's going to take like 35 minutes, but it actually could be more like 45 or 50. And sure, that routed delivery may say it takes 2.5 hours, but it actually might be 3. And that might be without having an issue. And sometimes those routed deliveries, it's not taking you to the right place, and you might have to travel back for where you were at. And it's just like, what's the deal? And that is frustrating. How do I know? Because I've lived it. And even some of those pharmacy orders may sometimes be decent, but when you actually look on the app, or you just get to the counter, then you find out, oh crap, it was like not going to be ready until like another 20 minutes. Then you're like, oh man, I'm not going to do that just for $10, not even for 15, because then I got to deliver the thing. And if it's X amount of miles or X amount of time, depending on the traffic in your area, you got to weigh the cost. Is this thing worth it? Also, with the shop and deliver, there could be just like multiple substitutions, or they just don't have the item, or you try to contact the customer. Not always easy, but it's those little things that kind of slows you down, and it just adds up more on the time that we're trying to put into this thing. It's not one of those things that's just like in and right back out. And some of these offers have still been like 30 or 40 and the money hasn't been there. So it's just like, okay, now where's the pay at? If you're going to give me this much to work for, I'm going to get paid for this. Then if you have like multiple customers, so you have customer A and customer B, make sure you get everything separated just right, which generally I don't have that type of a problem. Make sure I'm trying to get my biggest order in the biggest part of my basket and have the smaller one right there on the very top. And I may have to adjust accordingly. I think some of the best things I've seen is from those express shopping orders. A lot of those have been over $20, and it might just be just a few items. And I was just like in, out, and ready to go. Like I've said on so many times on this channel, not every offer is going to be a glorified banger. Sometimes it might just be halfway worth it. And we just got to balance these things out. Then there's also just doing those curbside deliveries. Generally, I like those curbside deliveries because I don't have to shop. But however, like most of my orders are shopping orders. And I just kind of suck it up because it's usually a decent amount of money. But when I do pick up those curbsides, it's generally 2 or 3 different orders where they put one in the very front seat of the passenger side and also one in the back and one in the trunk. Not all that bad. However, a lot of times, a lot of those associates just put it in there like they just don't care. And they'll be stacking it up just for it just to seem like to fall out. There are so many times I'm like, did you get any amount of training? Like, seriously, what did your training consist of? And I think the bad news about this, I think the bad actually outweighs the good when it comes to people actually feel like they actually care about how they put the stuff not only in the car, but how they even stack and put the things in the grocery bags as well. Just like, man, I hate being a negative Nancy about this thing, but this is just a review of how it's been in these past few months. And it's going to be the good and the bad and the ugly of it. But don't get me wrong, because it's just like any other job. We're always going to have some sort of frustration, but we're also going to have good days as well. Hopefully the good days outweigh your bad days. And if it's like so bad, you might need to look for something else. And that's okay if you have to look for something else. Try to do something that actually makes you happy. At least you halfway enjoy it. Because it's good to actually go to a job where it's not that bad. And doing Walmart Spark, overall, the good days outweigh my bad days. There's going to have to be days where I had to multi-app because I'm not getting any offers, and that's okay. I may have to turn on DoorDash. I may have to turn on Uber Eats or peek at Roadie. That's just part of being a gig driver. You got to find and seize the opportunities when they're there. Because there's even times when I'm like, I'm on the platform, but it's actually trying to send me to a Walmart. It's just like, you're sending me all the way out there? I can't believe I'm even get pinged on this order from where I'm at. I'm like, is there absolutely nothing in my area? And then it just keeps on with the waiting game. And sometimes you feel like you're just waiting for any type of offer. And you don't care if it's a curbside, shop and deliver, a pharmacy order, or a routed delivery. And I didn't even talk about the customer returns yet. Now, that one can be a double-edged sword. Now, I've heard a lot of horror stories where he's like, oh, no, don't do that. You're just asking for a disaster. But I've done this a few times and it hadn't been too bad. I think most of these just been like $10 just going for a few miles. And that's pretty much coming from that customer's house on the way to Walmart. But the worst thing that's ever happened was when the customer had no idea where to find that barcode for me to actually scan on her phone, which we found it after a few moments, or at that time, I was kind of new to it myself. And I really wasn't familiar with the customer side of the process. But when she just went and slid down on her phone for her notifications, there it was, clicked it, and it was ready for me. All I had to do is scan, review, and I was pretty much ready, set, and go. And by the time I got to the curbside pickup where I actually dropped off the return, most of the time I still got an order right when I was about to pull out or leave Walmart. So it's like, hey, that kind of works out despite it being like the shop and deliver. But hey, if it's good money, we'll take it. Yeah. But also another thing that you really want to look out for, and I've noticed this more on the routed deliveries, sometimes it might start you out going good and you're kind of more the local, I would say, but they might have those 2 or 3 that's like way far out. It feels like you're going so far, you're going out of country. And you're like, man, I'm just doing this for one. I'm like, how many Walmarts did I pass? Surely they would have had it there, which really makes me think, how in the world? Because when these customers are ordering from Walmart, why is it coming from a Walmart that's miles away passing other Walmarts? Let me know in the comment box if you know that answer. Because I've done this for just as little as Hamburger Helper. I'm just like, seriously? I just delivered cheeseburger hamburger helper for like 30 freaking miles. Are you serious now? I know good and well any of these 10 Walmarts all the way around here had that. And if it had like a drone service like it does here, that could have easily been picked up and just delivered to there. I don't know. Somebody tell me something, because I have no idea. I found that crazy. It's almost like something needs to be fixed up in here. Surely the AI algorithm can figure this out. I know this isn't like a glitch in the matrix or a glitch in the system, because it's not just Walmart Spark. It happens with DoorDash as well. It happens with Uber Eats, where the customer might be a long way out, but where they're ordering is miles away. And there's other restaurants or other stores that's even closer. It blows my mind. But hey, let us know down in the comments below, what are some of the things that just completely blow your mind? Do you have some pet peeves? Do you have some positive comments as well? Leave it down below. And if you want more Walmart Spark tips and tricks, check out this video right up here.